Have you ever woken up feeling stiff, like your body forgot how to move overnight? What if just 8 minutes could make your mornings pain-free again? For anyone over 60, this gentle chair yoga for seniors is more than exercise. It's a way to wake your body with kindness and rebuild strength from the inside out. No strain, no pressure, just calm, healing motion. Stay with me, because near the end of this video, I'll share one simple breathing secret that turns this short routine into a powerful daily renewal. When Margaret turned 68, her mornings began to feel heavier. She used to wake with the sun, pour her tea, and water the flowers on her porch. But lately, the first steps out of bed came with stiffness in her hips and a dull ache in her back. She'd sit for a long while, waiting for her body to loosen up, but it never really did. "I'm slowing down," she told her neighbor one morning, half in acceptance, half in fear. That quiet stiffness started changing her days. She stopped walking to the park, skipped her book club, and told herself she just needed rest. But the truth was, she wasn't resting. She was retreating. Her body was asking to move, and she was too afraid to answer. Like many seniors, Margaret worried that one wrong step might lead to a fall, or that her knees couldn't handle the effort anymore. One day, her granddaughter visited and noticed the way Margaret rubbed her back as she stood up. "Grandma," she said softly, "have you ever tried chair yoga? You don't have to get on the floor. You can do it right from your chair." Margaret laughed at the thought. Yoga? At my age? But her granddaughter smiled, pulled out her tablet, and showed her a video. Gentle stretches, slow breathing, calm music. The movements were small, graceful, and safe. Margaret decided to try. The next morning, she sat in her favorite chair and followed along. By the time she finished the 8-minute session, something had changed. The pain hadn't vanished, but her body felt awake, alive, in a way she hadn't felt for years. She didn't know it yet, but those few minutes of chair yoga would become the first step to reclaiming her strength, her balance, and her peace of mind. The next morning, Margaret placed her chair by the window, where the soft light touched her hands. She took a deep breath, feeling both nervous and hopeful. Her granddaughter's voice echoed in her mind. 8 minutes, Grandma, that's all you need." The session began with grounding breathwork. Hands on her knees, eyes closed. She inhaled, slowly, through her nose, exhaled through her mouth, and felt her chest rise and fall. It was simple, yet powerful. Breathing deeply helped her nervous system shift from tension to calm, teaching her body that movement could be gentle, not threatening. Next came shoulder rolls. She circled her shoulders back and forth, releasing years of tension, stored from sitting, worrying, waiting. Each roll sent warmth down her spine. Then she moved into neck stretches, tilting side to side, forward and back, realizing how long she had carried the weight of stillness. The third move was seated cat-cow, a classic yoga motion adapted for the chair. She rounded her back as she exhaled, then lifted her chest as she inhaled, syncing movement with breath. It was slow, rhythmic, and oddly emotional. "I forgot my body could feel this good," she whispered. This gentle flow reawakened her spine, improving flexibility and posture, the very things that make standing and walking easier with age. Then came seated sidebends. With one arm reaching overhead and the other resting on her chair, she leaned softly to the side. The stretch along her ribs and waist released a sigh she didn't know she was holding. Movement, she realized, was not just physical. It was emotional release. Halfway through, she practiced ankle and wrist circles, reconnecting with the smallest parts of her body that she'd ignored for years. These motions improved circulation and balance, awareness. Every circle was a quiet reminder. You're still connected, still whole. The fifth pose was seated mountain. Margaret pressed her feet into the ground, lengthened her spine, and lifted her chin slightly. For the first time in a long while, she felt tall. This simple posture strengthened her core, improved her breathing, and reignited her sense of dignity. Then she tried seated leg lifts, one leg at a time, slow and steady. At first, her thighs trembled, but instead of frustration, she felt gratitude. Trembling meant her muscles were waking up, alive, capable, learning again. Finally, she moved into seated twist. Placing one hand on the opposite knee, she turned her torso gently and looked over her shoulder. The stretch through her spine brought a feeling of release, as if her body was letting go of years of hesitation. By the time she finished, Margaret's breathing was calm, her mind clear. 8 minutes had passed like a whisper, yet she felt as though she'd just returned from a long journey back to herself. After a week, something remarkable happened. Her mornings no longer began with fear or stiffness. Instead, she woke with curiosity, eager to stretch and breathe. Her balance improved, her back pain eased, and most importantly, her confidence returned. "It's not just yoga," she told her friend over tea. "It's remembering that I'm still capable." The science supports her experience. Gentle chair yoga improves joint mobility, lowers stress hormones, and boosts blood flow to the brain, helping seniors stay steady both physically and mentally. It reawakens the body's natural rhythm, the one that often fades with inactivity. And, as promised, here's the breathing secret that made Margaret's routine twice as effective. At the end of her session, she practiced 3-part breath. She inhaled into her belly, then her ribs, then her chest, and exhaled slowly through her mouth. This deep oxygen flow doesn't just calm the mind, it strengthens the muscles that support posture and balance. Over time, Margaret's 8-minute chair yoga became her anchor. "Some mornings I still ache," she said, "but now I move through it, not away from it." Because movement after 60 isn't about regaining youth, it's about rediscovering aliveness. With each breath, each stretch, each quiet moment in her chair, Margaret proved something simple, yet profound. Strength never leaves us. It only waits for us to return to it. Margaret's story reminds us that strength isn't something we lose with age. It's something we forget to call upon. Those 8 minutes of chair yoga weren't just about flexibility or pain relief. They were about rediscovering her connection to her own body. Movement, she learned, doesn't have to be fast, heavy, or perfect. It just has to be consistent and kind. When she stopped fighting her body and began listening to it, everything changed. Her confidence returned. Her mornings became peaceful again, and her breath, steady and full, became her quiet reminder that life still moves beautifully, even at a slower rhythm. The secret, she said, wasn't in the stretches or poses. It was in the choice to begin, to give her body a chance to remember how capable it still was. Because age doesn't take strength away, stillness does. Movement brings it back. If Margaret's story touched your heart, maybe tomorrow morning is your turn. Sit in your chair, take a deep breath, and spend just 8 minutes moving with care. Notice how your body softens, how your breath steadies, how the stiffness begins to melt. And after a few days, share your experience with us. Did your mornings feel different? Did your confidence return, even just a little? Tell us in the comments what part of your day feels hardest right now, and what kind of routine you'd love Verdant Years to explore next. We look forward to reading your insights. Thank you for walking this journey with Verdant Years.